When talking about pure knockout power at bantamweight, few can match the ferocity of David Martinez. This hurricane from Guadalajara has swept through Combat Global's bantamweight division. With an undefeated 6-0 record and an impressive 100% of wins by finish, Martinez has shown he's here to make his mark. From his humble amateur beginnings to his explosive debut in the UFC, he has made it clear he's not here to play. It's time to relive how David Martinez dismantled his opponents to earn the respect he has today. But before we continue, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any detail of his rise. David Martinez, born on March 12, 1998 in Guadalajara, Mexico, is an MMA fighter who has made a splash in the world of mixed martial arts. Raised in the humble neighborhoods of Jalisco, he found in combat sports his passion and escape from adversity. He began his career in amateur boxing, where he was crowned state youth champion before making the jump to MMA. His legendary knockout power and tireless mindset have made him one of the most exciting Mexican prospects of the new generation. His amateur debut came in June 2019 at the event Guerra en la Jaula 15, held in his hometown of Guadalajara, where he faced Luis El Puma Mendoza, a local fighter with more experience and a positive amateur record. Mendoza, known for his solid ground game, looked to take the fight to the mat from the start, pressing David against the cage with clinch attempts and takedowns.
19 añitos para David Martinez, que ahí estaba atacando con todo.
The debutant showed surprising calm for a novice, defending the first takedown attempts with a solid base that spoke to his countless hours of preparation in the gym.
Que se esquiva, rapidito la mano izquierda, con poder de parte de David Martinez.
Mendoza looked confident, smiling toward his corner as if he controlled the pace of the fight. However, at 2:45 of the first round, the fight changed in an instant of pure controlled violence. David slipped a slow cross from Mendoza and countered with an explosive three-punch combination, a measuring jab that distracted the guard, followed by a brutal left hook that slipped through the small opening and crashed into the exact point of El Puma's chin. Mendoza fell immediately, felled, with glassy eyes before hitting the canvas. The crowd at Arena Jalisco erupted in a thunderous ovation. David Martinez had announced his arrival in the MMA world with an authority and power that left everyone open-mouthed, including the scouts in attendance. In February 2020, at the Torneo Class A in Monterrey, he would face a much tougher nut to crack, Miguel Angel El Tanque Soto, a Muay Thai fighter known for his great endurance, iron chin, and an amateur record of 5-1. The fight was billed as the ultimate trial by fire for the young prospect from Guadalajara. Many doubted he could handle Soto's experience and toughness. From the first round, Soto lived up to his reputation, advancing fearlessly toward Martinez like a bulldozer and throwing low kicks and middle kicks that cruelly echoed on David's thighs, leaving visible marks from the first minute.
Combate Americas, it goes to show you how the South American win from Mexico. Good kick.
Has dynamite in his hands.
Soto's strategy was clear and effective. Wear down Martinez's mobility, diminish his powerful base, and take him into deep waters where his conditioning could dominate. The first 5 minutes were intense and even, with David landing the clearer, cleaner shots, but Soto absorbed them like a sponge and kept advancing, even smiling at the hardest impacts as if nothing affected him. The second round continued as a brutal war of attrition, where both traded in the pocket without giving or asking for quarter, creating a spectacle of pure courage that had the crowd on its feet. That was when David Martinez showed for the first time that champion's mentality that would define him in the future, turning adversity into opportunity. He connected a devastating uppercut from hell that rose between Soto's arms with surgical precision and landed clean under the chin, literally lifting the tank's feet off the ground. Soto collapsed heavily to the canvas, knocked out cold at 2:30 of the third round, creating an incredulous silence followed by an explosion of applause. The victory was wrested with heart, pure power, and unshakable faith, cementing his name as a serious prospect to watch and proving that he could win even when things got tougher. Against all odds.
Stairs from Martinez.
Told you.
My! The right hand unloading, and it is over. Black Spartan turning out the lights. It's over. Opening minutes.
You went right into that.
Yup.
But it would be at the Copa Combate 2021 where Martinez would achieve his most significant victory before reaching the big leagues, knocking out 3 opponents in a single night to hoist the tournament title and definitively catch the attention of Combat Global's talent scouts, sealing his destiny as a future champion.
Fighter, but does he have what it takes? Certainly with that punch, it caught Gonzalez.
On May 26, 2022, David Martinez would defend his championship for the first time against Antonio Vergara at Combat Global. Martinez versus Vergara. Vergara, a technical and respected fighter with broad international experience, promised to be the biggest challenge to date for the young champion.
David Martinez, uno de los mejores, libra por libra, los reinantes de la categoría gallo, no solo en Estados Unidos, sino que en el estado de Florida. Este hombre que usted observa con el pantaloncillo blanco.
However, Martinez had other plans, coming out of the corner with a confidence that leapt off the screen. From the opening bell, he charged like an enraged bull, cutting off the octagon with intelligent aggression and pressing Vergara against the cage with a combination of powerful strikes that didn't let him breathe. Vergara tried to answer with quick counters and spinning kicks, but Martinez's overwhelming power and constant pressure neutralized any offensive attempts. At 2:08 of the first round, after cornering Vergara against the cage, Martinez landed a devastating 2-punch combination, a hook to the liver that made the challenger instinctively lower his hands, instantly followed by a demolishing right cross to the head that buried itself in the temple with brutal force. Vergara fell straight to the canvas like a felled tree, eyes rolled back before touching the canvas. The referee didn't need to count a single second, stopping the fight immediately. Martinez had retained his championship with another display of pure power and lethal efficiency, making it clear that his reign was just beginning and that he was an unstoppable force in the division. For his second defense, on October 6, 2022, he would face Alejandro Osuna at Combat Global. Martinez versus Osuna. Osuna was a dangerous and durable challenger, known for his big heart and his almost supernatural ability to absorb punishment and keep moving forward.
Movable object, irresistible force, another quick on their feet.
From the outset, this fight was shaping up to be a true war of attrition that would test the champion's endurance. Osuna withstood the best Martinez had to offer for 3 full rounds, surviving several moments of extreme danger where he was on the verge of a knockout multiple times, and even landing some significant shots that tested the champion's iron chin.
You can see in the distance David's sister, Melly, by success. Oh, another cat. It was a fight card that was held in Guadalajara.
However, the constant pressure, the volume of strikes, and Martinez's cumulative power began to exact an unavoidable toll on the challenger's steel. In the fourth round, showing strategic evolution in his game, Martinez began to mix up his attacks intelligently, going more to the body to sap Osuna's stamina. At 4:14, after a series of distracting jabs, a fierce hook to the liver ripped an audible groan of pain from Osuna that was heard in the front row and folded him in half, leaving him vulnerable for the first time in the fight. Seizing the opportunity with clockwork precision, Martinez unloaded a short, powerful uppercut that found the perfect target on the jaw and sent the brave challenger to the canvas for good, securing another successful KO defense. This victory was a demonstration not only of raw power, but also of patience, tactical adjustment, and fight IQ that matured with each defense.
Maybe an armbar, but Martinez giving him nothing. Osuna
He
can't
may
get
be
up.
in trouble here.
Oh,
he may be in trouble to stop
stopped him!
The most epic and toughest defense of his championship came on May 27, 2023, against the gritty and well-rounded challenger Javier Zarauz at Combat Global. Martinez versus Zarauz. Zarauz, possibly the most complete and versatile rival Martinez had faced to that point, brought all-out war from the first second, giving no room for adaptation.
Suelta la bomba como lo está haciendo.
Justamente con la izquierda y entró a la derecha, que la maneja en forma de... ¡Entró poderosa! Se empieza a marcar el
Él sabe muy bien esto que está haciendo.
The first 3 rounds were a bloody brawl, with both trading devastating blows in the center of the octagon, without backing down, creating iconic images of pure tenacity. Zarauz even managed to land several brutal roundhouse kicks that left a visible purple mark on the champion's leg, limiting his mobility and adding a layer of drama to the challenge. The fight was completely even on the judges' scorecards going into the 4th round, and the crowd was on the edge of their seats, aware they were witnessing something special. In the 4th round, with both fighters showing incredible physical and mental wear, it was David Martinez who found that spark of greatness that defines true champions.
Pero nuestras tarjetas no las oficiales. Y David Martinez,
La que la lleva perdida justamente sería Zarauz. Encontrar el destino de la contienda. Ataca el Black Espalda, pegó con la derecha.
At 4:17, slipping a high kick with feline reaction, he stepped inside with exceptional footwork and connected a perfect 1-2 jab cross that thudded into Zarauz's jaw with a dry, resounding crack. The challenger fell stunned against the cage, legs wobbling, and Martinez, with a killer yet controlled instinct, let loose a final flurry of precise punches until the referee was forced to step in to protect the valiant challenger. This victory, his toughest and most earned defense to date, only further solidified his legacy as one of Combat Global's most feared and respected champions. A man who could win in different ways.
Vuelve a atacar, vuelve a meter patada en esa zona. ¡Entra una patada! ¡Victoria! ¡Brutal! Y dice, ahí te va, carnal. ¡Qué patada verdaderamente brutal! ¡Enorme! ¡Devastadora!
Dana White's Contender Series. On October 1st, 2024, David Martinez would face the most important challenge of his career up to that point. Xavier Franklin at Dana White's Contender Series. With a UFC contract on the line and the eyes of the MMA world upon him, the pressure was immense and palpable. Franklin, a well-rounded veteran with solid wrestling and proven striking, was the favorite according to experts to frustrate the Mexican's dream. The first round was a high-level tactical battle, with Franklin constantly looking to close the distance with takedown attempts and bring the fight to the mat, while Martinez used his superior footwork and quick jab to maintain his preferred range and land precise shots that added up.
Franklin's corner asking him to mix.
Low kicks echoed on Franklin's leg again and again, and piston-like jabs kept the veteran at bay and bloodied his nose. In the second round, Franklin secured several takedowns thanks to his experience, but from the bottom, Martinez showed spectacular improved defense, avoiding significant damage, slipping away intelligently and quickly getting back to his feet where he could do his work.
The ability, still a lot of speed coming on him. I think he stumbled advantage. Comes on the back, Martinez right back to his here.
The final round was where Martinez sealed his fate and proved his growth, knowing he needed to impress Dana White personally. He unleashed his entire arsenal with devastating precision, 3- and 4-punch combinations that cracked like electric discharges, body kicks that emptied Franklin's reserves, and constant pressure that exhausted the veteran, physically and mentally. When the final bell sounded, there was no doubt at the Apex in Las Vegas. The judges gave him the win by unanimous decision, 30-27 on all 3 cards. Dana White, visibly impressed by the technical evolution, heart, and intelligence shown by Martinez, handed him the UFC contract on the spot with an approving smile. The Storm of Jalisco had officially arrived at the big house, fulfilling every fighter's dream. Just 6 months after his successful debut on the Contender Series, on March 29, 2025, David Martinez would make his official UFC debut at UFC Fight Night. Moreno versus Aramine, facing the dangerous and experienced Brazilian Samuel Chimango Oliveira. Oliveira, known for lightning-quick submissions and knockout power in his hands, was a perfect and perilous trial by fire for any debutant. Designed to measure his true level, from the first second, Oliveira tried to take the fight to the ground immediately, grabbing Martinez against the cage with force and looking for takedowns with all his experience.
Following the because Rodriguez is, there it is.
That's just way too slow a spinning.
But David's wrestling defense, polished specifically for this fight over months in advance, was absolutely impenetrable, frustrating every attempt with technique and strength. After defending the first takedown attempt authoritatively, Martinez posted off perfectly and quickly found his range, setting his rhythm. At 4:38 of the first round, reading an anticipated movement from Oliveira, he connected a devastating 2-punch combination, a thudding hook to the body that made Oliveira instinctively lower his guard to protect his torso, followed milliseconds later by a brutal right cross that smashed into his temple with resounding force. Oliveira fell dazed against the cage, his legs failing, and Martinez, with controlled yet relentless ferocity, unloaded a final flurry of precise shots until the referee was forced to stop the fight, protecting the Brazilian. The KO victory in his UFC debut formally announced that a new power had arrived in the bantamweight division, and that David Martinez was not just any prospect, but a future contender.
Head kick like that.
David Martinez has proven to be much more than a simple knockout artist. He is a complete fighter in constant evolution, who has tangibly improved every aspect of his game with each fight. But will he be ready to face the great Rob Font this September 13th, 2025? Or will he end up defeated by his opponent? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the analysis of his next UFC fight. Give this video a like if you believe David Martinez will become a world champion, and tell us in the comments which opponent you'd like to see him against.